Peace to the world. This is what we're doing with GPMS. I'll wait for a few moments for some to get in here, and you can ask any questions on GPMS and what is also connected to directly to the Ascension GPMS. It's part of it. So having said that, that is what this live is about. So any questions you may have on GPMS, put them in the uh, chat comment section and I will answer them. And I'd like to get a on as someone joins, let me know how the feed is working. This will be fine as well. A little bit about GPMS while I'm waiting. What GPMS is, it's an acronym for the Global People's Monetary System. Now, when one see the word global, they may go, "Ooh, don't want anything to do with that," because of the, let's say, elitist connotation on the word global. What I need to say, the word global is the people. So it is actually the opposition to the global elitists. And the word global was chosen by Prime Creator, the father aspect that I'm in communication with most of the time, to put that word on. And I would have loved, something like universal people's monetary system or what have you. However, that word had to be put on there. So the global people's monetary system and simplified divine law. So it's a very simple um, concept, but also structure and direction for all of humanity in the world society. And with this, it's inevitable. It's happening now. Um, it's irrevocable, and of course, it's irresistible once ones get it. And with GPMS, sometimes what ones will tend to do is from the consciousness, they'll try to overthink it and see how it will work. But with that, that creates great complexity, and ones may, if you try to put GPMS inside of the current systems worldwide, it does not work because it's not part of that. We are in the Ascension, the Great Awakening, to take humanity into a civilized state of being out of this present savagery, if you will. And it's the old monetary system and judicial system that is the savage thing, and you're not going to find anything in there. That's why we're coming outside of this as one's awake. They learn about the deception and the lies of the system, then they start to come out of it. And as they come out of this is where GPMS is at, and this is happening very quickly worldwide, with millions and billions awakening and at least are first aware. And just to say that worldwide, about 85% of the population worldwide is aware that something is very wrong. So it's that first awareness how the judicial and monetary old system is so wrong for what it does to humanity. It inflicts hardship, misery, restriction, suppression, and it even contributes to death because it creates poverty. That's what this system, old system, does. This system you're in now, it creates the latest figures about 30,000 plus every day are dying because of lack poverty. They don't have food, and they don't have the money to buy it. So this is the inhumane, savage system that everyone is in. And that's absolutely preposterous when you look at all of the food that is grown worldwide today. It's enough to perhaps feed 10 times the present population. And it becomes even more ridiculous with all of the advanced technology and growing techniques and even the modalities that is present today, that these can, even in the deserts with today's technology, you can grow ample food. But again, the reason why this isn't so is because of this old capitalistic structure. With GPMS, what everyone is agreeing to and what we're doing, money is no longer an object, meaning that you can have all of the technology to grow more than enough food worldwide, even in the desert and even in Antarctica. So what GPMS does, it fully liberates every soul upon the planet and puts them into an abundant and free world. Now, what GPMS is it's a collection right now of agreements worldwide for who wants this new free world where there's no longer any financial stress or any lack, and where everything is in harmony, everything is absolute peace. Who would not want that? So this tells you that it's inevitable. And what we're doing with GPMS, how it may differ from some of the other uh, freedom narratives that are out there for the people. What GPMS is actually doing is lawfully, it collects the individual agreements of everyone worldwide to add them all together to create a ratified voice agreement of the people. Once this voice is the majority, it is a ratified agreement that comes into full force because it's worldwide. And this is important. So I mentioned earlier, it's GPMS is a universal nation already, and founded in the basics of all law, meaning that law comes from within. That's where it begins, is the intrinsic moral and moral values, if you will. It's what you are. And it's where your rights, absolute rights, come from. There would not be any laws upon the planet, per se, if you did not exist. So again, in the same way with money, none of that would be here if you weren't here. So it also shows that you are a part of that and that it comes from within. And, there are so many ways that I could explain and substantiate these claims I'm making, but I'm not even going to go into that and create complexity. But having said that, I can speak to any argument against this, and there is a no contest, no debate with it. So GPMS is divinely guaranteed, but it's also guaranteed from all of you, all of us. And the difference with it, you're seeing the voice is growing. This is the ratification of the agreements. It keeps accumulating until we get to the majority. Nothing else upon the planet does this on this scale, what we're doing, and nothing can compete with it. It's all inclusive. So it's what is occurring. It's the matter of the time for the people fully to understand that GPMS is the ultimate solution, and also to understand that they have this choice, to choose. And also with many other groups, let's say trying over here with their sovereignty to exist within a system or confront it. These groups are going through their trials and errors to see what will work and what doesn't work, but very quickly and eventually they come to find out that nothing works within the system, because the Great Awakening and the whole divine plan is designed that the new world, GPMS, is created. So all of their efforts will be in vain and they're not futile, because they need to go through the processes so that they utilize what they think are all of their resources that doesn't work. Then they see the one absolute solution. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple, let's say, some questions here. Because, of course, any of you that knows Rick, I could ramble and ramble and ramble, but I like to get to the point. Dana Na says, how close are we to Ascension? I like to say we're this close, and it also depends on what your definition of ascension is. My definition, what I use, is to get the planet to a fifth dimensional state of being, a civilized state, what GPMS does. So that is the first leg in the ascension. And with this, many think that, okay, you do all of your inner work and you just ascend yourself. Really, that is not so. You got to do all of this inner work. Then you meet with the whole to ascend the planet. There is a mission involved with your ascension and the reason why you were doing all of your inner work. So having said that, there is the mission involved, the reason and the purpose for all of you for going through what you had to go through here upon the planet. Nothing happened by chance, and it's been all divinely orchestrated by you at your soul level, what you agreed to in this time to divinely be part of and do. And this is why you have perhaps many enlightened ones, and they have not ascended yet, because the real truth is, if they're playing an important role in ascending the planet, you cannot leave yet. We're tied in here to do a mission. And having said that, we cannot be killed as well. And I am one that can attest to that, but I'm not the only one, and I know others as well. And we know who and what we are divinely. We know we are divinely placed upon the planet to ascertain this overall ascension and freedom of humanity. So, how close are we to ascension? We're very close. And let me say with this, Dana, the quicker and the bigger this worldwide agreement gets, because it is a very powerful energetic vehicle. Once we have all of the co-creators, the ones that know that they're manifesting, have them all in a line with this one vehicle, it creates it energetically bigger and bigger. It replaces the old reality, meaning that ones come in and get more online so that we create this new reality. How close are we? I will not put a linear time on it, other than I know we are so close. But it also, it does make a difference what every individual one does, as I'm saying. So this is why I cannot put a concrete time on it. It depends on all of the individuals and, going through your individual process, but also making your choices. By making your choice with that one end goal upon the planet, or let's say the new beginning goal, by making that choice, it gets you there quicker. It omits many unnecessary events. It omits much negativity. It omits much in the individual's processes where they're able to skip steps because reality's changing. So it, the ascension actually depends on all of us and what we do and what we physically and materially do to change the reality. So it depends on you and I and every one of us. And believe me, this is one of the reasons why I push the Ascension and GPMS forward so we can get this mission completed upon the planet. Yeah, Rachel Cathy. Hi, Rachel. She says, how will they honor our free will by choosing GPMS? Will the banking system just back down? Well, actually, Rachel, once humanity comes together, we own the banking system. We are the actual owners of it. Everyone upon the planet is a bona fide shareholder in all of the infrastructure that was ever built upon the planet. And this is also incontestable, meaning that everyone had a birth registration into the system that recognized them as participating in that country's government. But not only that, the worldwide trade, it's all interlinked. So having said this, this places everyone as a bona fide shareholder. Even that child that was just born 1 second ago is a bona fide shareholder. And they have a vote, they have a choice, and they have a voice. And this is what GPMS does as well. Every child's voice counts in it. One child, one vote. And it is recognized, and rightfully so. Every child's voice upon the planet counts in GPMS, the same as yours and mine, because the children has every lawful right, because of the basic God-given rights, to choose a new reality, to not have to live in this present reality. I'm currently in the Netherlands. We are. And, this is one of the richest countries in the world. It's at least within the top 10. Some say it's the fourth. Some say it's the sixth, but richest. But, wherever it stands at, I just checked tonight, in the Netherlands, there's 209,000 children that are living in poverty. Like, that's insane, and it's sick, and it's not right. So you can see what's wrong with the the old world. But getting back, Rachel, to what you said, banks, if you will, have no choice but to comply with this and do what is right for the people. So the people own the internet, the people own the financial routing systems, and for what GPMS does and what it does for humanity, nothing can go against it. If it does, they're quickly outnumbered anyway. So having said this, it would be insane for anyone or any bank to try to go against GPMS. So that doesn't even happen. It's with it, and it's because of a couple things I already said, but also more. So yeah, they have no choice. This is when you look worldwide at the governments and a lot of this great fear. This is why they have the great fear. They're very desperate. They don't have any choices left. It is imploding. The New World does not have the political structure of governments and politicians. That's not there at all. But also, it's been set up that, there is the accountability that is already being placed, against what occurred with the very intense violation of individual rights worldwide. that violation infringed to the deepest what has occurred over the last couple years, and anyone that participated or partook in those very huge crimes, they're to whatever degree, uh, there has to be accountability, and it will be in whatever way for it. So no one can escape that. For a true justice system, if I will, there cannot be exemptions and impunity in it. For if there is, then it's an unfair system, and it's not a valid judicial system because it cannot judge impartially. It becomes totally biased, and that makes it not fair, and it's not lawful at all, just to keep it simple for some of you. So again, the existing judicial system upon the planet is actually unlawful because of that. And also, when you look at the judges worldwide, they are paid by the system. And when you look at who controls the system, it's your governments and your big corporations and the elite. And, that is a direct conflict of interest, meaning that the judge is not independent, that he is dependent upon the system. So then that creates the conflict of interest, which does not allow him to judge, him or her, to judge impartially. And so it's all, it cannot be the way that it is. So that's also why it the world's judicial system has no jurisdiction today. The whole thing, international law, when you want to look at that, when you look at international law, people think that that is the highest court. It's not. The people are the highest court. International law is to be enforced by the countries that agree to it, the governments that agree to it. So very quickly, you see how that is all staged, not to your benefit either, because of the huge infringement that has occurred in the last 3 years upon humanity. So, thank you, Rachel. That was an excellent question. I loved it. That's enough on that one, though. um, so, Kariake, uh, Korea Kakis, I believe, okay, has asks about what about the transition process. Talking with a friend, this came out. The transitioning process, it happens very quickly. So, as we go forward with the agreements collecting, it's making the biggest think tank ever upon the planet, and everyone is in alignment with making everything work. Uh, so, having said that, that's why all of the solutions are contained. I already know the solutions, but they're also contained within every individual that is in alignment with this to make things work. And where money is no longer an obstacle, where it's used as a good tool and given fully, unlimitedly to every place, that and every soul, that eliminates so many obstacles. So with the transitioning, um, very quickly, because the people, and when the majority decide to take the rightful ownership of the entire world infrastructure, this includes all of your energy, your gas and oil, all logistics. When you own it all, what occurs is that it no longer becomes a reason to pay yourself. Then what you have is um, free energy, free gas and oil. So, and with the free energy is coming no matter what. There is the free technology, but GPMS also uh, gives the free energy once we all agree it, because we're all owners with it. So what occurs is a rapid deflation process. Specifically in the U.S., your healthcare system, it's all solved. GPMS is the solution because everything is free. The healthcare, when you have doctors and nurses in the healthcare that are getting paid from themselves and they only have to contribute a few hours, no one has to pay them. And this is the new system with all of us. You only have a condition of working a fraction of an hour, a fraction of hours what anyone works now, to contribute to the worldwide society. And in the new world, the transitioning is that there is many frivolous, non-essential jobs that will be quickly eliminated, because the old capitalistic system kept creating all of these other innovative ideas to make money within the system, and as a result it created many jobs that are not necessary or nor essential to the advancement of humanity. One of the biggest jobs is the financial markets, and that is the biggest employer upon the planet, with I believe 1.3 billion. When that's no longer needed, and you may only need 1,000 or so to run um, uh, the new monetary system, or when you only need a little bit of those numbers to actually run it. For example, I could run the entire planetary monetary system myself with the help from a few, so it's very simple. Once you take down all the encryption gates in the existing financial routing system, it's all free flow to everyone. But having said this, there is no longer any financial markets. You don't need that to trade. You don't need to invest. You don't need to save, because everything is in the now moment and is created as you need it to provide absolute comfort and freedom. So there is no need to save. And what occurs very quickly with that transitioning, after we do this, in humanity quickly comes to the place that they know they don't even need money at all. And then during that time you have all the new technologies delivered to the planet, and so many other cool good things with that. So the transitioning, um, it's, for one, to think that it could be complex, it's not at all. And with existing lawful wealth, if you will, well, that's everyone is rightfully do that. So there is the inventory and stock that was with lawful companies, let's say with vehicles, just before the transitioning. They're lawful. Well, they deserve whatever that wealth was with a settlement as we go forward. So, just as an example, very quickly everything works out, and everyone is so happy because they don't need to work any longer, for themselves. It's for the worldwide community, and everyone is paid. So it's without going too long with that, the transitioning, because everything is affected with it in all good ways, but it's not as complicated or complex as you think, because by making money no longer an object and a good tool, again, there are so many um, preconceived notions of what could occur don't even occur, so you don't even need to think about those. I'll stop there, see what else we got. Any more questions? I'm going down the list. Yeah, gotta find a new way with my... You're welcome, Anita. So, any more questions? You can put them in here now. I got to answer most of those, I believe. And one thing, with GPMS for anyone, again, it doesn't cost, it's not a burden to anyone now. You don't need to pay anything to be a part of it. The only thing it actually costs you is about 3 minutes of your time uh, to register your agreement, to get it added with everyone else's. You don't need to pay anything, and this is also, it indicates the genuineness, the sincerity of what GPMS is. It's not out there to burden you and take your money and get you to subscribe, $5 or whatever. It doesn't do that. It is all free. And since we began with GPMS, we did a little bit of fundraising, probably maybe 1,500 US dollars in 2 years, and that was only for some computing equipment and to host the website. And you know that's all that we have funded for GPMS. So it's not, and look what it does. It frees all of humanity and places everyone in abundance. So this shows the intent of what GPMS is, and it's not out to burden anyone. It's actually out to lift everyone up, and this is what it's doing. So um, you can look at that when you compare to some other things and some Ponzi schemes and scams that is out there, to make money and keep leading ones on and leading ones on, and nothing occurs. Where with GPMS, you can watch the agreements grow and grow, and once the majority on the planet says we want this, that there's nothing that can stop that and go against it. And so, it truly is that simple. And having said that, I would not be sitting here. Look at what I do. I'm one of the guardians of GPMS. Look what I do. Do I charge you anything I put out on Facebook? I don't charge for it. Femke and I assist ones without charge, sure. We ask for some fundings and donations, but let me say that almost Femke and I, we don't need much, and we're not, let's say we're not poor as a result of living like this, but we're actually living under the poverty level in the Netherlands. And having said this, we live in this little camper. Look, I can almost put my arms, across. It's what, maybe about a 14, 16 foot space, and long, and 6 meters. No, I guess 18. So we got 6 meters, less than 6 meters long, 18 feet, and we got, I guess, maybe 7 feet wide. This is our home. This is our space. And many of you know that with what I've been doing over the years, and many of you can attest to how many I have assisted, and I don't ask for it, but my credibility with the assistance and how it has helped you. So again, with my character and my credibility, you see that it is sincere, that it's not about the money, it's about you, it's about the individual. And this is the same foundation with GPMS. It's about, the children worldwide, where so many every day are dying of starvation. It's about everyone. It's all inclusive. And this is what it does. And GPMS doesn't ask, any direct money from you for it, and it's for you. It's for all of us. So again, I can use so many examples to show and to validate what GPMS is. I don't need to validate it. I don't need to define it because it is. However, at times, it's great. I'll put out little seeds and little pointers, for ones to utilize if they're getting arguments from others. Again, there is no argument, there is no contest, there is no opposition. In all reality, any sane human soul cannot oppose what GPMS is, and that is the basics of it. So, any more questions? Yeah, thanks, Carolyn. Julie. So, we got any more? Brother Leon, good to see you, brother, here too as well. And Lee and I will be doing interviews as well with in the near future, again, getting more of the higher consciousness talk out, but also the connection with GPMS, because it does go hand in hand, and that's the way it's designed. Any of you that are Christians out there, this is the rapture, what's occurring. Any of you in prophecy, this is, the deliverance that the prophecies offer. This is it. We're in it and we're doing it. So we're in the most glorious time to be upon the planet. It's finally happening. So it's important, GPMS is really everything that has been written about when this time would come. It's here. GPMS is it. It's here now. And this is the one true thing that delivers everyone, because the worth and the value is based on the individual. And that's where it cannot be controlled. And this is where the value comes from. And with all of these individuals adding as a whole, again, it cannot be controlled, and it's divinely designed that way, and that's why it's absolute, it's guaranteed, and that's why I speak these things. And believe me, again, I would not be speaking if I was only human, and you can see I don't have anything. If I was only human trying to make money, I'm not doing that, so that's not what this is about. And so again, I don't need to go much into that. But any more questions on here? You can take a few more questions. I'd love to, about GPMS. Just have a look on what I have. A couple points I had written down. So, great things occurring. The GPMS website is currently down, or it may be up now. I'm uncertain, but it'll be up shortly, and you'll see the numbers increasing very quickly. And again, materially and visually, you'll see it growing very rapidly. And this confirms to any that had doubt, and the more agreements we get here, the bigger the voice gets. Then it becomes, even anyone that may have doubted it, they'll look at it and say, whoa, those numbers are very big, there's something more here. And and exponentially and virally, it goes forward. So I'd like to say it could be a misconception for one's thinking that over the last 2 years it took 2 years to get about 29,000 consents, that it might take forever to get 4 billion. No, 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 no. It's what you need to realize is that there is the viral exponential point when this goes viral around the world. So it's not a just a steady rate with collecting the agreements. Everything's set up and is occurring simultaneously worldwide to break down that old system. And many of these, they're still busy with fighting, breaking down the old system. They consciously do not recognize the solution being here, but eventually they will, and they will know it, and that is happening, as we speak. So boom, then everyone together very quickly, and it's done. So yeah, like Lee says, we got this, and we do, and as we continue forward, we're collecting the light leaders, if you will, that knows they're upon the planet to play the important roles, and they're beginning to step up. And I'm not the only one endowed with the divine knowledge of what's occurring upon the planet. There are many others, and many more are coming to know that, coming to know their actual reason why they're here. So, and that keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, what we're doing with GPMS, when you look at the old world being destructed in a matter of years, and a new world, GPMS, being built in a matter of a couple years or so, this is this is instant. It's very quick when you look at changing the whole paradigm. So have patience, and be very happy, and know what you are doing and what is coming in the very near future. And it's important for everyone, to play the role at getting this message out there, getting GPMS out there. The quicker we get it out and get the agreements all gathered together of every child, woman, and man worldwide, the quicker it happens. So it takes all of you and all of us together to do this. So, and it's by your choices. The timing of how long, again, it takes, it actually depends on all of you and the steps you take towards getting it done. If everyone just sits around and depends on just a few to do it, it doesn't get done as quick. It takes everyone working together to get this done. So there cannot be that codependency like you see in the other false narratives. One's just sitting, getting misinformation from one, that they're following. They keep waiting and waiting for decades, for a GCR and these sort of things, with nothing ever being done and just being drained constantly. Because of that codependency, thinking that someone else is going to do it for you, when we have many examples out there that that is not the case. You need to be proactive to your full degree to assist in creating this change. It doesn't get done without you, without all of us, without the majority. So common sense will tell you, you have a role to play, and do what is right, and feel this in your heart, and know that the present world is savage, and it's ridiculous when money is created instantly out of thin air, that 30,000 a day is starving, when there's no need for it whatsoever. It tells you that something has to be done. And of course, uh, more and more pressure put upon all of you, especially in the US and Canada. The huge inflation and rising rates of everything that's compressing you more and more and more. Something's got to be done, but don't sit around and wait for someone to do it for you. You got to be part of it. You got to make choices, and And understand, you're not just doing it for you, you're doing it for all of the children worldwide. You're doing it for your families and your friends, and so it's the most logical and most sensible and most heart-based thing to do. Uh, Be a part of GPMS and assist wherever you can and get the word out. I cannot make it any more blunt or plain than that. And again, you can see that GPMS is not a fantasy because you're seeing the actual numbers grow, the actual agreements. This substantiates it that it's very real. And again, once we have the majority voice, that brings all of GPMS into fruition, into the implementation, into the inception. So, again, well, looks like everyone's a little bit silent here. So, any more questions, or I may end this? And hey, brother Dean and Dan. Yeah, yeah. Donovan says many hands make light work, and the pun is great there because it works both ways, indeed. We're all love and light and gratitude, indeed. Well, having said that, that's great. This is 46 minutes, so I answered a few great questions, and looks very good that everyone pretty much knows this at least. And anyone can contact us if you're an influencer of the people in any way. If you have audiences, it's important that you're giving this message to all of your people. Any healers, it's important that you carry this GPMS message. It's hope being actualized, and again, that eradicates the stress in the individuals. Many, they have no hope because they don't know, they have no direction, they don't know GPMS yet. But once you let them know that, yeah, everyone is saved, they just saved themselves by agreeing to it, then it gives them, the definite hope, and it also heals them as well because they have a direction and they see it's actually happening. Um, so anyone watching as well, if you know great talk show hosts, um, one's host, that interview anywheres with anything, I suggest give them our names from GPMS, and so we can get the word out further and get it spread. And also, if you are an influencer, a speaker for the people, please get this message to them. And if you're new, come and speak with us. And if you wish to know more about this, so you're able to speak it and present it in your own way to the people or the followers you have as well. So this is, as I said, anyone very quickly can see it's not a scam, and because we don't ask for money. This is genuine, so very quickly it will tell you that, and that it also authenticates it. It makes it real of what this actually is, and all in the spiritual community should be speaking about GPMS. All in the awakened communities, should have this, and very quickly be a part of it. And when we look worldwide, at the amount of protests in the last few years, all of these are awakened. And these hundreds of millions of billions should also be a part of GPMS in the very near future. So get this into every country that you can, share it, and let ones know what's occurring, but also let ones know it's important once we have the website back up to get on there and register your individual consents. It's important. And if you're a mom and you have a couple children, let's say 2 or 3 years old, and you can ask them if they want the new world, or you're the guardian anyway, so you can go on. Um, you can register your agreement and your two children's by your email. And if you're married and hubby wants a new world so he can be with his family more, you can ask him if you wish to register his, or if he wishes to do it himself. And also with this, with your consent, what comes is an absolute powerful lawful decree for each individual also that does it. Right at this point, it would not be, let's say, recognized in the old system. However, once we have the full ratification and agreement worldwide, then it is acknowledged, and it is the superior uh, self-law in decree, and this is occurring as we go forward. However, with this, I don't even think we're going to need to get to that majority voice. I fully believe far before that things are going to begin to change very favorably with your freedoms, and the expansion of things changing, because GPMS is affecting the great good change as we go, and anything that is lawful and good has to converge with it, with all of the good people and all of the good souls. So you're going to see amazing things occurring here constantly as we go forward. Um, as for UFOs, there's a lot of concoctions made up. The actual galactics, ETs, are very real. However, they are all benevolent, and some of these staged things you're seeing upon the planet, with the darkness attempting to instill fears, because when human souls are tricked into generating fear out, it actually polarizes reality to that fear and negative where the evil exists. But when you're conscientious of what's actually occurring, you don't generate fear and negativity out there, then you're generating the higher positive polarity. Then their fear tactics don't work. And the more that realize this is how we change the world as well, going a little bit deeper into that. So that looks great. So having said this, I wish to say is a namaste to all. I honor all of you as well. And this is peace worldwide. This is what GPMS does. You don't need any militaries any longer, or anyone in the military, because there's nothing to fight for once GPMS is done, because everything is shared. So this is peace. This is unity. No one else owns this symbol but the unity ones, all of us, and that's what it is. And this is what it means: together, unity, all of the people, all of the human souls. So we have peace and togetherness, unity, prosperity, harmony, and of course, I'm not used to doing this, but we got this love as well. But I like going like this, and all of that love, and everything good. So everything is ascertained. I would not be here. None of us would be here, even attempting GPMS, if we thought we had to compete against other narratives, or uh, if if we did not know this was guaranteed, we would not be doing this. So, love, light, and gratitude. And thank you for joining. Have a great morning, day, or night, wherever you may be.